Hello, this is my pecha kucha presentation for Stephen Johnson's book, Where Good Ideas Come From. Pecha kucha is a format of presentation which uses the following guidelines. You get to use 20 slides for 20 seconds each, and that's it. It's intended to force presenters to be concise. Where Good Ideas Come From is a book that investigates the circumstances in which humans produce innovative thinking. In Where Good Ideas Come From, Johnson utilizes an anecdotal approach to build his arguments. From the printing press to GPS to the World Wide Web, Johnson shows the reader the people and environments which developed various essential innovations. Additionally, the work, writings, and experiences of Charles Darwin play a pivotal role in this book as a sort of narrative of Johnson's arguments. Central to Johnson's argument is the misconception about the way great ideas come about, the eureka moment. The prevailing image is that of a brilliant scientist at work hunched over a microscope. Suddenly, he gets it and exclaims, "Aha, I've got it." However, Johnson proposes that this model has never been the driving force of innovation, and furthermore, in the modern world, is increasingly ineffective and undesirable. Instead, Johnson expounds on the time-tested effectiveness of innovative communities. He argues that all manner of innovation are most efficiently developed where people are able to bounce ideas off of each other, work together to solve problems, learn from their mistakes and errors of others, and use and reuse the resources of others around them. To best illustrate this, Johnson regularly references Darwin's thoughts and observations of coral reefs. The reefs are colossal achievements constructed by many tiny workers, using all available resources and creating symbiotic relationships with other types of workers. The reef illustration parallels a human environment where secrecy and isolation are eliminated. Traditional beliefs about work environments, motivation, research methods, and protection of intellectual property are abandoned for more informal, open, and cooperative models. Johnson argues that this type of setting has led to more innovation than any other in human history, whether we realize it or not, or whether the textbooks tell us or not. As he states, we are often better served by connecting ideas than we are by protecting them. Johnson also discusses 7 elements that assist the idea creation process. The adjacent possible describes the possibilities of innovation and growth that lie within reach. Illustrated here, the adjacent possible is represented by the 3 new rooms that are accessible once entering this room. However, any doors in subsequent rooms are not in the adjacent possible of this room. New innovation leads to new possibilities. Liquid networks are crucial to idea formation. Johnson's case studies illustrate that many innovations were the result of input from multiple people and multiple sources. Environments that allow for discourse and sharing of ideas are catalysts of innovation. Johnson also shows how we see that liquid networks are also represented in human physiology in our neural networks. Like an effective liquid network, our neural network is densely populated and is capable of adopting new configurations, hence the description liquid. Next, Johnson discusses the slow hunch. A slow hunch is an idea or a thought about an idea which lingers in the shadow of the mind, waiting for the right circumstances to become an idea. This process can last years, even decades. All the while, the slow hunch is assembling new connections and gaining strength. Another key point is serendipity. We all know that luck can be helpful. Johnson goes a step further and discusses how we can proactively attempt to create environments that foster serendipitous discovery. For example, we can shift our focus by taking walks, brainstorming, and reading on different topics. Error also plays a crucial role in innovation when we are able to transform failure into insight. When we're wrong, we have to challenge our assumptions and adopt new strategies. Being wrong on its own doesn't unlock new doors in the adjacent possible, but it does force us to look for them. Similar to this maze, the odds of finding the solution without error is minuscule. Exaptation is the utilization of a technology, theory, or idea from one area to solve a problem in another area. Johnson gives the example of a match being used to illuminate a dark room. Once illuminated, the room reveals another doorway, which upon entering contains a pile of logs and a fireplace. The match therefore represents a tool enabling vision at first, but then providing warmth in another context. The World Wide Web is a prominent example of this effect. As Johnson explains, it began as an academic exploration, but in the end was exapted for shopping, sharing photos, and watching pornography, along with 1,000 other uses. Along these lines, the importance of cities is highlighted, as they provide for collisions of ideas and set the stage for exaptation. Finally, Johnson details the roles that platforms play in innovation. If we consider the analogy of the room with doors representing the adjacent possible, a platform would be a door that opened up to a new floor of that structure. Platforms are ideas and innovations that enable exponential growth in new directions. Furthermore, platforms create an environment where new innovation, development, and processes can take place with limited knowledge of the innovations leading up to them. For example, a person can create an account with WordPress.com and within minutes begin writing, sharing video, and expressing their views to the global community of the internet. All this without any knowledge about any of the complex aspects that form the web, like HTML code. At the conclusion of Johnson's work, we see his argument that innovation is best fostered in an environment where people work together, where ideas and slow hunches are exchanged freely in liquid networks, where acceptation takes place and leads to both serendipity and error, which helps to explore the edges of the adjacent possible, and where all of these are used to create new platforms for the next generation of innovation. What we must do then is figure out how to create these environments for ourselves and those around us, whether it is in the office, in schools, or in our homes. As Johnson states in the book, innovation has the effect of improving life in society and increasing diversity. The real lesson of where good ideas come from is that chance favors the connected mind.